My voice is dead. Hello friends and family, this is Mega Boat, aka and this is what? So I've been making videos answering you guys' questions about Korean dramas because even though they are dramas and they are exaggerated and they're fantasy and not really real life, there are a lot of cultural things that you can still learn from them bad boys. So you guys have taken to questioning me on the Twitters, and one of the questions I got was from Grace, and Grace said, always eating out with a group of people, it seems like it is awkward there to eat alone. That is such a good question. Okay, so you guys know how Korean meals work. Usually all the food goes in the center of the table, there's side dishes and everything, and everyone shares, right? Everyone takes their chopsticks and we put them in the same dishes and we eat them together. So because of that, a lot of restaurants only serve set menus that go for many different people. So there are some restaurants that have a minimum of 2 people, especially if it's some type of big soup. Like I've gone to tofu places because I love this thing called dubu jeonggol. And jeonggol are like, you get a big round kind of flat pot and it has a watery base. And you usually just, you know, boil it right there at the table with you. And oh my god, they have one mushroom, tofu, jeonggol, dubu, 버섯, jeonggol. I want it in my mouth right now. And I think that they do it that way for a couple of reasons. One of them is because side dishes are unlimited. So if you're just one person ordering this little tiny soup and then you're getting all of these side dishes unlimited, it's kind of like they could be losing a little bit of money there. So it's like set portions where you get the set side dishes, etc. And so at restaurants, if you go there, like one time there was something I wanted to eat. It was some kind of like soup thing, probably a tofu soup or something. And I was like, okay, I know that I'm not 2 to 4 people. However, can you just give me the 2 to 4 people portion and I'll just eat as much as I can? And they were like, no, you need to be at least 2 people because, you know, other people might be waiting. We don't serve just one person. So even if you go there and you say, hey, I'll pay for the 4-person portion, they're like, no you won't, because you need to have more than 1 person. And for you meat eaters out there, especially the meat restaurants, they are always probably going to require that you be at least 2. Even if you are a really large person and you can eat all 4 portions, they still have a minimum requirement that there be at least 2. So that's why nowadays there are so many restaurants popping up. In the last couple years, I've really seen them pop up, especially the meat places. They're called 고깃집 in Korean, 고깃집. So a lot of these, you know, meat places have popped up, especially around the Gangnam area. So if people want to go and like grill meat, but they don't have no friends, or they just want to go by themselves, then they could go to these restaurants and get everything that they need. So you also have to remember that Korea is a very collectivist country. They tend to do things as a group, as a family. So people who will go to these restaurants to like grilled meat, etc., they will usually be, you know, co-workers coming after work, or families, you know, on the weekend, like it's a group of friends who want to go out. And in Korea, you tend to live with your family until you're married. So it's kind of like, okay, if you're one person and you want to go out and eat, you could just go to your home and eat with your family, because everyone assumes if you're not married that you live at home with your family. But nowadays there are a lot of people who are just kind of moving out of their parents' house even before they get married, so that's kind of why these things have started popping up, these like 이른분 like restaurants where you can go and get certain foods that you typically can't just get one serving of as one serving. The only restaurants that you typically see people eating at alone will be places that serve stuff like tteokbokki, kimbap, and like ramen, like all those kind of things. We call it bunshik. Bunshik is just kind of like, what is bunshik in English? I don't know. I just know bunshik, kimbap, tteokbokki, rabokki, ramen, donkasu, like those kind of like places. Well, what I'm seeing here, I typed in bunshik, and that says flour-based food, which would make sense because it's like ramen, tteokbokki, and stuff like that. But kimbap is not flour-based food, and that's also punchik. And here it says, in the 1960s, when there was not enough rice, the government once encouraged people to eat more flour-based food. That's interesting. I had no idea. Learn about all kinds of histories here. It also says, like, if you, I'm looking at punchikchom. Chom means like a store or like a place, like some type of building that like sells something or has something. Punchikchom is just kind of like a snack bar. A Korean snack bar. So I guess that's how you would say it. I know it's kind of like, it's not like meal food, like the healthiest food. It's kind of fast. And it's typically those things, and that is what makes up bunchik. So bunchikjeom are typically the places where you will see a lot of people eating alone, because you can just order one kimbap, one tteokbokki, one daebokki, like all those kind of foods you can just kind of order like that. So yeah, so that's why you never really see people going out and eating alone at restaurants. So my voice has just died. I don't know if you can tell. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you would like to support me on Patreon, then please, my Patreon information is down below. On Patreon, I upload kind of Instagram type stories, because Patreon is like also a social media platform. So you guys who support me on Patreon will be able to see posts that I do not post on other more public forms of social media, and I'll be doing polls, and you can more directly talk to me and ask me questions. So thank you to everyone who is already supporting me on Patreon. You guys are the bomb.com. And if you have any things that you have seen in Korean dramas that I haven't addressed in this video or the previous video I made about Korean dramas, then please feel free to ask away. Things that you've seen in dramas, do they really happen in real life? And send me some links too, if you have a link to like a specific drama clip that you had wanted to question. Because of my like allergies, because it's like spring season here, my voice had just been really shot, and my eyes are itchy and watery, and my face is like swollen, and when I touch my sinuses like this, like it hurts, like bruised, like my face is bruised, and I'm like, bruh, but then I can't stop touching it, because I'm one of those people who, when I have a bruise, like, I just keep touching it. I don't know if that makes me weird. And then you know how I'm like working out really well these days, like, so whenever I have like muscle pains, like from having a good workout, I just always poke it. It's oddly satisfying. So if you like this video, like to see more videos, please subscribe to my YouTube page, which is down below. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, like me on Facebook. I will see ya. My voice is dead.